Sound, haunting wind, faint thunder in the distance. Low heartbeat bass visual, wide shot of Earth from orbit, storms swirling, volcano glowing faintly beneath clouds. For as long as we've lived beneath the sky, we've mistaken silence for safety. But the Earth is never still. Above us, storms brew with the force to level cities. Beneath us, magma gathers with the patience of centuries. Together, they remind us, we are guests on a restless world. Sound, rolling thunder colliding with deep rumble of eruption. Visual, split screen, a rotating supercell thunderstorm on one side, a volcano erupting on the other. A storm can stretch across oceans, a volcano can darken skies across continents, and in their rarest moments, they give birth to wonders that defy belief. Sound, sharp thunder crack, layered with explosive raw visual, slow motion, lightning bolt striking an erupting ash column. This is the story of Earth's fury and its secrets. Sound, rising winds, distant waves, visual, satellite view of hurricane eye. Zoom into churning ocean below. In the tropics, warm seas breathe, vapor skyward. Spirals form, and a hurricane awakens. Its eye seems calm, almost peaceful. But its walls of wind carry destruction fierce enough to erase coasts in hours. Katrina Hayun. Each name is a scar on human memory. Visual time-lapse of storm surge flooding a city street. Storm surges do not knock. They arrive like walls of the ocean itself, swallowing entire neighborhoods. We measure hurricanes in categories, but survivors remember them in screams, in silence, in the smell of salt and ruin. Sound, ground tremors, low roar growing louder. Visual, volcano erupting at night, glowing lava fountains against black sky. Beneath mountains, magma presses upward. Most days, rock holds, but one day, it fails. The eruption is not just fire, it is a revelation. Ash climbs into the heavens, blotting out the sun. Pyroclastic flows descend with the speed of race cars and the heat of furnaces. They do not chase, they overtake. Pompeii, Mount Pelée. Entire cities ended in single breaths of time. St. Pierre lost 30,000 souls in minutes. Only 2 survived. One of them, a prisoner, saved by the stone walls of his cell. Sound, crackling, static, layered thunder visual, slow motion lightning, branching across storm clouds, intercut with ball lightning orb, drifting through darkness. But fury can take shapes, stranger than fire or wind. Lightning hotter than the surface of the sun. Bolts carrying 1 billion volts, able to ignite forests in a single strike. And sometimes, the storm draws stranger signs, floating spheres of light. Red sprites leaping into the stratosphere, blue jets piercing space. For centuries, they were legends. Today, we capture them with cameras. But even now, their true nature is a mystery. Sound, eerie silence, faint bubbling. Visual, calm lake in moonlight. Mist rolling across its surface. Not every killer announces itself. In 1986, Lake Nyos turned silent death into history. Gas trapped beneath its waters suddenly erupted into the air. A cloud of carbon dioxide swept across villages, invisible and unstoppable. 1,700 lives ended in their sleep. A lake without flame, without waves yet powerful enough to erase entire communities. Lake Kivu, larger and even more dangerous, still waits. Its threat is measured not in years, but in moments. Sound, pages turning, storm wind rising. Visual, archival images of Krakatoa, telegraph sparks from Carrington event. History records more than disasters. It records transformations. Tambora in 1815 cloaked the world in ash and cold. The year that followed had no summer. Crops failed, famine spread, and in the darkness of endless storms, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein. The earth reshaped not only weather, but imagination. A solar storm in 1859 burned telegraph wires into flame. If it struck today, it could cripple satellites, silence communication, and plunge entire nations into chaos. The sky is not empty. It is alive, and sometimes it fights back. Sound, shimmering tones, soft choir rising. Visual, aurora sweeping across the Arctic sky, intercut with volcano glowing on the horizon. But not all displays of power are threats. Sometimes, they are wonders. The aurora paints night skies with green and violet, whispers from the sun written across polar air. In northern Australia, the morning glory cloud rolls like a celestial serpent for hundreds of kilometers. Beneath polar seas, brinicles descend like icy daggers, freezing all they touch. And in Honduras, storms rain fish onto muddy streets, a miracle to some, a mystery to others. Science explains pieces of these puzzles, but never the whole. Sound, low subterranean pulse, bass growing heavier, visual, vast aerial of Yellowstone caldera.com, yet immense. Beneath fields and forests lie chambers of unimaginable size, supervolcanoes. Their eruptions rewrite climates, erased species, and nearly ended humanity itself 74,000 years ago when Toba exploded. Some believe only a few thousand humans survived. If Yellowstone were to wake in anger, ash would blanket continents, cities would fall silent, global trade would fracture, the test of civilization would arrive. And yet, volcanoes are not only destroyers, they are creators. The fertile fields of Java, the lush valleys of Campania, the islands of Hawaii, all gifts from eruptions long past. Every disaster leaves soil where life blooms stronger. Sound, digital glitching, low solar hum, visual, Earth's orbit filled with satellites, grids of cities flicker as if power failing. We live by invisible agreements, signals, electricity, timing. A storm on the sun, or an eruption of ash, can tear those agreements apart. A single plume once grounded flights across Europe, stranding millions. Now imagine skies darkened for years. Complexity is humanity's strength, but it is also our fragility. Sound, steady percussion, strings rising with hope, visual, scientists monitoring seismographs, communities practicing evacuation drills. We are not helpless. We can listen to magma with seismometers. We can track storms from orbit. We can carve channels to steer floods, design grids to resist collapse, and teach cities how to stand aside when rivers rise. Preparedness is the opposite of panic. It is the choice to act before the sirens sound. Sound, light rainfall, birds returning, visual, child's hands catching raindrops, forest regrowing after fire, skyline glowing after storm. The earth does not rage to destroy us. It rages because it is alive. Storms remind us the atmosphere is restless. Volcanoes remind us the crust is thin. Lightning, auroras, rains of fish, crimson skies, remind us how much remains unknown. For millennia, we saw gods in thunder, dragons in clouds, omens in strange rains. Even now, myths echo in storms. But today, we carry cameras, satellites, science, and still, we are humbled. Every hurricane that lashes a coast, every eruption that reshapes a map, every glow across the night sky tells us the same truth. We are fragile, but we are aware. And awareness is survival. Sound, storm fading into calm wind, silence returning, visual, earth from space storms swirling, volcano glowing faintly, auroras dancing at the poles. The sky is restless, the earth is breathing, and neither is finished with us.